There's a kid in your school right now, maybe you already know who he is, and every time he steps onto the pitch, the game stops. Heads turn, defenders back off before he even touches the ball. Coaches whisper his name. Everyone knows he's different. But here's what nobody tells you. That kid isn't just talented, he's built. And the gap between you and him isn't as wide as you think. It's not about God-given ability. It's not about how tall you are, how fast you were born, or which academy you train at. It's about what you do with your hours. Right now, I'm gonna hand you a complete system. One that covers your body, your brain, your technique, your mindset, everything that separates the best player in the school from everyone else chasing their shadow. This isn't a motivational speech. This is a blueprint, step by step, category by category. Give me your full attention for this video, implement what I'm about to show you, and within weeks, not years, you will feel the difference every single time you step on a pitch. Let's get into it. Before we talk about training, gym, nutrition, or technique, we need to talk about the thing that controls all of it, your mindset. Most players get this completely backwards. They think, I'll work on my mentality once I'm good enough to warrant it, but that's like saying you'll learn to swim once you stop drowning. The mental side isn't the reward for hard work. It's the engine that drives the hard work in the first place. Think about what separates the truly elite young players you've seen, the ones who look like they're playing a different game. It's not just skill, it's how they carry themselves. It's the way they demand the ball in tight spaces when everyone else is hiding. It's the way they try a skill, get tackled, and then immediately come back for more like nothing happened. Neymar is the perfect case study here. When he was 17 years old, barely 60 kilograms, he was stepping onto pitches against grown men in professional football. Most players at that age hide. They pass quickly, stay safe, make themselves invisible. Neymar went the other way. He nutmegged defenders, he flicked the ball over people, he celebrated like he owned the stadium. That isn't recklessness, that's a completely different operating system running in his brain. And the interesting thing, that operating system wasn't built in a training session with cones and ladders. It was built on the street, on concrete courts in San Vicente, playing against older, stronger kids who had zero sympathy for being young or small. No referees, no participation trophies. You either figured out how to survive through skill and creativity, or you got embarrassed. Those environments taught him something no academy session ever could. That pressure is just another opponent, and with the right mindset, you can beat it. Here's the psychological reality most players never understand. Your fear of failure doesn't come from football. It comes from years of social conditioning. Somewhere in your past, you learned that making mistakes meant judgment, disappointment, rejection. Maybe a coach yelled at you when you tried something and lost the ball. Maybe teammates laughed when you missed a chance. And your brain, which is wired for social survival, created a defense mechanism, avoid situations where you might fail. But that mechanism that protects you socially is the exact thing destroying you as a footballer. Champions operate differently. They've trained themselves to separate performance mistakes from personal worth. A failed dribble isn't evidence you're not good enough. It's information. It tells you something about how that defender moves, what they react to, where the space opens up next time. Neymar could lose the ball 6 or 7 times in a single game and then attempt the exact same move on the 8th try without a flicker of hesitation. That's called selective memory in the moment. Champions remember their successes and release their failures instantly. Here's how you start building this right now. Step 1. Recognition. After every session or match, identify the exact moment you started playing scared. What triggered it? A bad touch? Someone shouting? Find the pattern. You can't fix what you don't acknowledge. Step 2. Reframe. When you lose the ball trying a skill, don't think I'm not good enough. Think, that defender reacts quickly to my left foot fake. I'll go right next time. Same event, completely different meaning. Step 3. The reset ritual. Every single time you make a mistake in a game, you lose the ball, you miss a shot, you get tackled, create a physical reset trigger. Clap your hands once, take a breath, touch your wristband, whatever it is, make it yours. That action becomes a signal to your brain. That's done. What's next? This trains your nervous system that mistakes are temporary events, not defining moments. Step 4. Build your football persona. This is the most powerful tool and almost nobody talks about it. The version of you that worries about what people think, that plays it safe, that passes backwards when it gets tight. That version of you is built for social harmony, not for football. The best players in the world don't play as themselves. They step onto the pitch and activate something else. A persona that's more aggressive, more daring, more confident than their everyday self. This isn't fake, it's strategic. Think about the player you want to be, not the player you currently are. How does he walk onto the pitch? How does he talk to teammates? What does his body language look like before he receives the ball? Build that character in vivid detail. Give him a trigger, something physical you do before you start playing that flips the switch. Because when that final whistle goes, you leave him on the pitch and walk off as yourself. But for those 90 minutes, he has full permission to be the most dangerous player on that field. Start there, because everything else we're about to cover, the training, the gym work, the nutrition, it all becomes exponentially more effective when your mind is lined up behind it. Now let's talk about what happens when you actually have the ball at your feet. Here's the honest truth about dribbling. It has nothing to do with how many skill moves you know. The best dribblers in the world aren't the ones with the biggest trick library. They're the ones who've mastered something far more subtle, the ability to make defenders feel like they're trying to catch smoke. Research in sports neuroscience shows that elite athletes develop what's called neural efficiency. Their brains require less energy to perform complex movements. This is why players like Neymar seem to move without conscious thought. Their neural pathways have become so refined through thousands of hours of repetition that dribbling is as natural as walking. They're not thinking about their next touch, they're reading the defender, they're seeing the space before it opens, they're 3 moves ahead. The foundation of this is what I call constant subtle movement. Watch Iniesta, watch Messi, they're never static on the ball. Small quick adjustments, micro movements are happening constantly. A slight shift of weight, a subtle drop of the shoulder, a hesitation that lasts barely half a second. These micro movements are much harder for defenders to track than big, obvious ones. They create a constant stream of visual information that the defender's brain has to process. And when you layer enough of these together, the defender is perpetually one step behind. Think about how water moves around obstacles. It doesn't stop and force its way through. It adapts, flows, finds the space. That's the model for elite dribbling. Here's the psychology of what's happening from the defender's side. Human beings are pattern recognition machines. Our brains are wired to anticipate what will happen next based on previous experience. Defenders are doing this constantly, reading your hips, your shoulder angle, your stride pattern, building a subconscious prediction of where you're going. Elite dribblers exploit this by breaking expected patterns. They let the defender build a prediction, then go somewhere completely different. This is why even a simple body feint can be devastating. It triggers the defender's instinct to react, and then you disappear in the opposite direction. There are 3 visual cues defenders focus on: the ball, your hips, and your upper body. Your hips are the most honest. They typically reveal your true direction, so experienced defenders prioritize them. But by manipulating your shoulders, dropping a knee, or hesitating for a fraction of a second before committing, you create anticipatory deception. You make the defender commit to a movement that hasn't happened yet. Close control is the vehicle for all of this, and close control isn't just technical, it's psychological. When you keep the ball tight, you have more options. You can go in more directions. That forces the defender to defend multiple possibilities simultaneously, which creates hesitation, which creates the half second of space you need. The best dribblers in the world aren't just skillful, they're confusing. The defender feels like they're trying to solve a problem that keeps changing shape. How to train this? The biggest mistake players make in training is spending all their time in static, predictable drills. If you always know what's coming, your brain never develops the instinctive, rapid-fire decision-making that real football demands. You need chaos. Constraint-based training. Set up small grids and give yourself rules that force creative problem-solving. 3 touches maximum. Weak foot only for 5 minutes. No turning, only play forward or sideways. These constraints stress your brain in exactly the right ways, forcing new neural pathways to form. This is how technical skill becomes instinctive rather than conscious. The cone weave with touch limits. Set up 6 to 8 cones in a line. Weave through them, but start with 3 touches between each cone, then 2, then 1. As you compress the touches, you're training your first touch to be directional and purposeful, setting you up for your next move before the ball even arrives. 1 versus 1 mirror drills. Pair up with a teammate or friend. Attacker tries to beat the defender using any skill. This replicates the unpredictability of real football. You don't know what angle the pressure is coming from. You don't know how aggressive the defender will be. Your brain has to solve problems in real time, which is exactly how instinct is built. Peripheral vision training. One of the biggest gaps between average and elite players is the ability to see the whole field while keeping control of the ball. Most players look down when they dribble. Elite players look up using peripheral vision and touch feel to track the ball. Train this by placing colored cones around the dribbling area and calling out the colors as you pass them. Or have a partner hold up numbers you have to identify without breaking stride. It feels awkward at first. Within a few weeks, it rewires your awareness entirely. Street football and pickup games. Don't underestimate this. Some of the most technically gifted players in the world, Mbappe, Neymar, Ribery, forged their dribbling instincts in unstructured, chaotic games where nobody was coaching them. In pickup games, you're constantly dealing with unpredictable movements, mismatched numbers, players you've never played with before. You're forced to scan constantly. You're forced to solve problems your brain has never seen before. This is where neural efficiency actually develops. Formal training builds the foundation. Chaos builds the instinct. The skill moves you should master first before anything else. The L roll, the step over, the drag back, and the Cruyff turn. These 4 moves cover almost every 1v1 scenario you'll face at school level. Become genuinely dangerous with these before you add anything else. Mastery of 4 moves beats mediocrity across 20. Technical ability gets you so far. What separates genuinely elite players from technically good ones is the ability to see the game at a different speed. Watch Modric, watch De Bruyne, watch Prime Pirlo. They're not just technically gifted, they appear to know what's happening before it happens. The ball arrives and they've already made their decision. The space opens up and they've already moved into it. It looks like a sixth sense. It isn't. It's a trained system. Research and analysis of professional matches has shown that elite players scan the field up to 8 times in the 10 seconds before they receive the ball. Amateur players, twice at most. Think about that difference. It's like driving a car while only checking your mirrors every 5 minutes, but scanning frequency is only one part of it. The other is information processing. You can look around constantly and still take in nothing useful if you don't know what you're looking for. Elite players aren't just collecting snapshots of positions, they're building and constantly updating a mental map of the game, a living, breathing picture of where every player is, which direction they're moving, where the space is likely to open up in 2 seconds, what the opposition's defensive shape looks like. This is what I call the 3 pillars of elite vision. Pillar 1, scanning frequency. You need to be checking your surroundings relentlessly, not in random glances, but systematically. Think of it as a clock face. You're standing in the center. Scan 12 o'clock, what's directly ahead, 3 o'clock to your right, 9 o'clock to your left, and crucially, the space behind you. The order doesn't have to be rigid, but the coverage should be. Every time you do this cycle, you're updating your mental map. Pillar 2, timing your scans. Here's where most players get it wrong. They only start scanning when the ball is already on its way to them. By then, you've lost the advantage. The 3 critical scanning moments are when the ball is being passed to your teammate, not to you, but the player before you, when the ball is traveling between teammates, and just before you receive it yourself. Starting your scan earlier gives you extra processing time, which means your decision is made before the pressure arrives. Pillar 3, body position as a weapon. Your body position when you receive the ball either opens or closes your options before you've even touched it. The best midfielders and attackers in the world position their body sideways or half-turned before receiving, keeping as much of the pitch in their field of vision as possible. If you receive a ball with your back to the game, your first touch either has to turn you, which costs time, or play it back to where it came from. If you receive half-turned, you instantly have 3 or 4 directions available. This one habit alone will transform your effectiveness on the ball. What to look for when you scan. Not all information is equally useful. When you scan, there's a priority order. First, immediate pressure. Is any defender close enough to win the ball right now? Second, available space. Where can your first touch go? Third, teammate positions. Who's available and where? Fourth, opposition shape. How are they organized? Fifth, transition opportunities. If we win or lose the ball right now, what happens next? Running through that priority list consciously takes time, but with practice, it becomes automatic, compressed into a fraction of a second. Training your vision. The best environment for developing vision is the same place we talked about for dribbling. Pick-up games and small-sided games. In 5v5 or 7v7, the pitch is compressed, the decisions come faster, and every touch counts more. You can't coast or hide. Every player has to scan, process, and decide continuously. When you're in these games, set yourself micro-challenges. Before you call for the ball, identify every player on your team. Every time you receive the ball, already have your next pass mapped. Whenever possible, play one touch. It forces you to be thinking one pass ahead at all times. Also start watching professional football with intention, not just watching, analyzing. Pick a player in your position before kickoff. For the whole game, only watch that player. Don't follow the ball. Watch what they do when they don't have it. Where do they position themselves? How early do they scan? What body shape do they adopt before receiving? How do they move to create space? What do they do immediately after they play the ball? You will learn more from one game watched this way than from 10 games watched passively. More on this in a later section. Here's an uncomfortable truth. Technical skill and vision can only take you so far if your body can't execute what your brain demands. The best player in your school isn't just skillful, he's athletic. He can accelerate past a defender in 2 steps. He can hold his position when someone tries to muscle him off the ball. He can make his third run in the 89th minute with the same intensity as his first. He doesn't get injured every month. His body is a weapon. You need to build yours the same way. Speed and acceleration. Pure pace matters less than people think. What matters more is acceleration, the ability to explode past a defender in the first 3 meters. This is trainable. Plyometric exercises, box jumps, bounding, lateral hops, depth jumps. Train your fast twitch muscle fibers to fire faster and more powerfully. Do these before your strength work when your nervous system is fresh. 4 sets of 6 reps. Focus on maximum explosiveness on every single rep, not volume. Combine this with resisted sprint work. Sprinting with a sled or a resistance parachute forces your body to adapt to higher force requirements, which translates directly into faster unresisted acceleration. Even just 30-meter sprint intervals with full recovery between reps will sharpen your top-end speed over time. Ladder drills and agility work train your feet to move quickly and independently, essential for close control under pressure and for changing direction at speed. But don't confuse looking fast in a ladder drill with being fast in a match. Use the ladder to improve foot speed and coordination. Use explosive drills to improve actual match speed. Lower body strength. The foundation of everything you do in football is your legs and your hips. Back squats, Romanian deadlifts, and Bulgarian split squats are your 3 most important exercises. Not because they make your legs look impressive, because they make every jump higher, every sprint faster, every tackle stronger, and every change of direction more explosive. Aim for 3 to 4 sessions per week that include lower body strength work. Progress the weight gradually. Learn the movements properly before you load them. Injury from bad technique sets your development back months. Upper body and core. You need to be able to hold your position when a stronger player tries to push you off the ball. Upper body pressing, bench press, push-ups, pulling, pull-ups, rows, and shoulder work builds functional strength that transfers directly to the pitch. Your core, and not just crunches, but true core stability work. Plank variations, cable wood chops, hanging leg raises, stability ball rollouts is what allows you to transfer force efficiently between your lower and upper body. It's the link in the chain. Weak core means energy leaks out of every movement, flexibility and mobility. This is the most neglected area for young players and the one that causes the most long-term damage. Tight hip flexors from sitting all day at school directly limit your stride length and your ability to change direction. Tight hamstrings increase your injury risk. tight thoracic spine limits your ability to turn and see the field. Spend 15 minutes every morning on mobility work, dynamic stretches, band work, hip mobility circuits. This isn't just injury prevention, it's performance. A mobile hip joint produces more explosive movement than a stiff one. Players who invest in their mobility early are the ones still playing at their best in their late 20s. Recovery. Training hard and not recovering is like filling a bucket with a hole in it. Your body doesn't get stronger during training, it gets stronger during recovery from training. Sleep is the single most powerful recovery tool available to you. 8 to 9 hours consistently, with a regular sleep and wake time. The research on this is unambiguous. Sleep deprivation reduces reaction time, decision-making speed, technical accuracy, and injury resilience. There is no supplement, no recovery protocol, no training method that compensates for insufficient sleep. Cold water immersion, foam rolling, and light mobility work after hard sessions accelerate recovery. Pool sessions or light jogging on recovery days keep blood flowing without adding stress. But none of it matters if you're only sleeping 6 hours a night. Your body is the machine. What you put into it determines how well it performs. Most young players completely ignore this and then wonder why they run out of energy in the second half, why they take so long to recover between sessions, and why they keep picking up minor injuries. Let's make this simple. Protein. Your muscles are built from protein. If you're training hard and not consuming enough protein, your body can't repair and grow. Aim for a gram of protein per kilogram of body weight per day as a rough minimum. If you weigh 70 kilograms, that's 70 grams of protein, spread across your meals. Eggs, chicken, fish, Greek yogurt, milk, legumes. These aren't exotic or expensive. They're what elite athletes around the world eat at every meal. Carbohydrates. This is your fuel. Football is an intermittent high-intensity sport. You're repeatedly sprinting, changing direction, jumping, tackling. All of that runs on carbohydrates. The fear of carbs that has spread through diet culture is one of the worst things to ever reach football. Oats, rice, pasta, potatoes, bread, fruit. These are your friends. Eat them before training and matches. Don't restrict them. Your pre-training meal should be 2 to 3 hours before you play or train. Complex carbohydrates, a moderate amount of protein, low fat, low fiber. Something like pasta with chicken or rice with eggs. Simple, effective, proven. Your post-training meal should prioritize protein and carbohydrates within an hour of finishing. This is when your muscles are most receptive to rebuilding. A protein shake with a banana. Chicken with rice. Whatever is available, but don't skip this window. Hydration. Being even slightly dehydrated, and most people walking around are slightly dehydrated, reduces cognitive function, reaction time, endurance, and technical accuracy. Drink water consistently throughout the day, not just when you feel thirsty. By the time you feel thirsty, you're already behind. Aim for 2 to 3 liters a day, more on heavy training days. Add electrolytes, a pinch of salt in your water bottle, or an electrolyte drink, during and after hard sessions to replace what you sweat out. What to cut? This doesn't need to be a lecture, but you know the things that are working against you. Fizzy drinks destroy your energy levels and your teeth. Processed fast food spikes your energy and then crashes it. Alcohol, if that's a conversation relevant to your age group, impairs muscle recovery, sleep quality, and cognitive function. You don't have to be perfect, but your dietary choices are a statement about how serious you are. The best player in your school is making different choices than everyone else in the canteen queue. Every hour you spend intelligently studying football is an hour your peers aren't putting in. And this is one of the most underrated accelerators of development at youth level. The best young players don't just play football, they consume it. They watch matches not as entertainment, but as education. They have a player in their position they're obsessively studying. They pause footage, rewind it, watch the same 10-second clip 5 times, trying to understand a movement or a decision. Here's how to make your viewing time count. Pick your reference player. Find a professional who plays your position and has qualities you want to develop. If you're a central midfielder who wants to improve your passing range, study De Bruyne. If you're a winger who wants to improve your off-the-ball movement and pressing, study Salah. If you're a striker who wants to improve your movement in behind the defense, study Firmino's work without the ball. Being specific is what makes this exercise valuable. Watch with a question. Before you start watching, decide what you're trying to learn. Today I want to understand how De Bruyne creates space for himself before receiving the ball. Then watch the whole match tracking only that. You'll notice things you've never seen before. Where does he position himself? How does he time his movement? What does he do in the 3 seconds before the ball comes to him? What are his feet doing when he receives it? Which direction does he take his first touch? Watch the spaces, not the ball. This is the most important shift in how you watch football. The ball tells you what happened. The spaces tell you what's about to happen. Watch where the gaps open in the opposition's defensive shape. Watch how your reference player identifies those gaps and moves into them before the ball even goes near them. This is where game intelligence lives, in understanding the relationship between defensive shape and available space. Watch your own performances. If your team films matches, ask for the footage. Watch yourself back. It's uncomfortable. Do it anyway. You will immediately spot the moments you didn't scan, the first touches that went backwards when they should have gone forward, the runs you didn't make. Video feedback is one of the most powerful accelerators available, and almost nobody at school level is using it. Read and learn tactically. Understand the position you play. What are its primary responsibilities? What does a good defensive shape look like from your position? What are the trigger points for pressing? Where should you be when your team has the ball on the left side versus the right side? Tactical understanding doesn't just make you a better team player, it makes you a better individual player, because you're always in the right position to receive the ball, to support a teammate, to exploit a defensive mistake. Understanding all of this is one thing. Doing it consistently, week after week, is what actually builds the best player in your school. Let me walk you through what a structured development week looks like for a player who's serious about maximizing their growth. Monday, lower body and evening game. Morning, hydration, mobility work, light ball work before school. Evening, gym session focused on lower body. Squats, Romanian deadlifts, split squats, plyometrics. Follow with a small-sided game or team training if available. Tuesday, technical work and upper body. Before or after school, 30 to 45 minutes on technical drills, cone weaving, first touch work, weak foot practice, specific skill moves you're developing. Gym, upper body session, pressing, pulling, shoulder work, core circuit. Wednesday, intensive technical session and speed work. After school, focused technical session on your biggest weakness. If your vision is the gap, work your pre-receive scanning drills. If your dribbling is the gap, work your 1v1 drills and constraint grids. Follow with 20 to 30 minutes of speed and acceleration work, sprint intervals, resisted sprints, ladder footwork. Thursday, full body and team training. Gym, injury prevention focus, core stability, mobility, hip work, single leg strength. Evening, team training. Be intentional. Pick one thing to focus on during this session. Whether it's your body shape when receiving or your scanning frequency, give it your conscious attention. Friday, recovery and mental preparation. Light day. Foam rolling, mobility, mental visualization. Review your tactical notes for the week. Think about the match coming up. Visualize yourself in key scenarios. How will you react when you receive the ball under pressure? What will you do when your first skill doesn't work? Where will you look to drive the team forward? Mental rehearsal is not soft. Neuroscience is clear. The brain activates the same neural pathways whether you physically do something or vividly imagine doing it. Elite athletes have used visualization for decades. Start using it now. Saturday, match day. Pre-match meal 3 hours before. Dynamic warm-up. No static stretching before kickoff. Activate your football persona before you step onto the pitch. Be the most dangerous player out there. Post-match, cool down, protein intake, reflect on 2 things you did well and 1 thing to improve. Sunday, active recovery, light stretching, yoga or pool session, balanced nutrition, journal your reflections, what worked this week, what didn't, what you're targeting next week. Set clear, specific goals, not get better at dribbling. Better. I want to beat my man at least 3 times in the next match using the drag back as my primary move. The specificity of your goals is directly correlated with your improvement rate. A note on school: don't let thinking about football consume your school performance. Cognitive science research shows that focused attention during school hours leads to better retention and reduces the amount of review time needed later. Deal with school properly during school hours so your after-school time is genuinely available for training. The discipline you build in managing your time and commitments is the same discipline that will make you a professional, if that's where this path leads. Every single section we've covered today is a multiplier, not an addition, a multiplier. Mindset alone won't make you elite, but mindset combined with technique, vision, athleticism, nutrition, and film study creates something that compounds on itself every single week. Think about what the player you're going to become actually looks like in 6 months. He receives the ball with his body already half turned, having scanned twice in the 4 seconds before it arrived. He knows the space behind him is open because he checked. His touch takes him into that space before the defender has time to close. When the defender finally commits, he reads the hip angle, drops his shoulder, and is gone before the decision has been consciously made. In the second half, he's still running, still pressing, because his body is fueled properly and his fitness base supports it. When his first skill gets tackled, he's back asking for the ball within 15 seconds because failure doesn't linger in his mind. It doesn't touch him. That player isn't far away from you right now. He's the version of you that exists when all of these systems are working together. The gap between you and the best player in your school is not talent, it's habits. It's what you do in the 30 minutes after school. It's whether you watch the match on Saturday with a question in mind or just for entertainment. It's whether you eat the meal that fuels your recovery or skip it. It's whether you practice your weak foot for 10 minutes every day or decide it's not important enough. Small choices, made consistently, over weeks and months, create the player that everyone around you will look at and wonder, what is he doing differently? You now know exactly what that is. Here's where I leave you with something concrete. For the next 30 days, I want you to implement one thing from each section of this video. Just one thing. That's 6 habits total. 1 for mindset, 1 for technique, 1 for vision, 1 for the gym, 1 for nutrition, 1 for film study. Write them down right now. Be specific. Put them somewhere you'll see every morning. Because the best player in your school doesn't just watch videos like this one, he acts on them. He takes what he learned and puts it to work the very next session. And the session after that, and the one after that. The pitch is yours. Now go take it. If this helped you, subscribe. Every week we go deeper on exactly these systems. Drop a comment below with the one thing from this video you're implementing first. I read every single one, and as always, enjoy the beautiful game.